Let's design a custom name display your customers can personalize and that you can profit from for your 3D print small business. Right now I have Canva open so I can make an SVG file of my custom name. You can also use any other software that you prefer as long as you can save it as an SVG file. If you don't have the option to save it as an SVG file, you can always save it as a PNG and then convert it into an SVG using another software. I know there are some websites that will allow you to convert your PNG images into SVG files. So I'm going to make one for myself, which is Joyland. I have a plain canvas here, and if you navigate to the left hand side over here, you'll see this tool that says text. Go ahead and click that. Canva has a bunch of different text templates available if you want to choose from there. I'm just going to start from scratch and hit add text box, then scale it up a bit. You can scale it up using your arrow here, or you can scale it up manually by typing in the number you want and then type the name that I want added. Make it a bit bigger. From here, if you navigate to the top toolbar, you'll see this font section right here. Go ahead and click that. You can go through all of the different fonts that is available for you to use. Just test them out, see what you think looks good. This one does look good. If you like the way it looks, but you don't want to choose it yet, you can hit these three little dots and star it. That way you can review all of the fonts or elements that you favorited later on. That's a little hack if you're new to Canva. Go through each one that catches your eye, which one you think best suits your branding or the branding of another small business. If you decide to add this to your small business, this is a really great addition. Custom work is really popular. I found this font. It's called American Years. If you want to go ahead and type that in the search box, that's if you want the exact same font that I'm using. I'm not going to gatekeep. If you want a plain name display sign, you can leave it like this and share it already. Hit that share button at the upper right hand corner, hit download. From here, you can save it as an SVG. Now you do need a membership or a subscription for Canva. You need Canva Pro, that's what it's called, to save it as an SVG. But like I mentioned earlier, you can always save it as a PNG for free and then convert it using another website or software. Make sure you have transparent background on and then go ahead and download that. But I want this to have a backing. So I don't want it to just be a plain text. I want this to have something that goes behind it, like a silhouette of it or a shadow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click down here where it says page 1 and duplicate that. You can duplicate it by right clicking on your mouse or hitting Control D on your keyboard. So you right click and hit duplicate, or you hit Control D on your keyboard. From here, I'll go to Effects, which is at the same toolbar that our font section was at, and I'll hit Outline. I'll make the outline the same color as the text and just make it thick. So I have two pages. I have the first one, which is the name itself, and then I have my second one, which will be the outer line that the name sits on top of. Make sure you save these as two separate files, not as one. They should be on two different pages, pages 1 and pages 2. Download that as an SVG or a PNG, and then we'll go right into TinkerCAD to import them. Here I am in TinkerCAD. I'm using TinkerCAD.com. If you're new to 3D printing or 3D designing, TinkerCAD is really great for beginners. They have a lot of shapes for you to use. You don't really have to know too much, just play around with everything. I do have a bunch of other beginner-friendly TinkerCAD tutorials if you want to try out different projects and kind of get used to how TinkerCAD works. I try to make as many tutorials for profitable products for small businesses. So if you want to learn for your small business, feel free to subscribe and follow along. The first thing you want to do, because I always forget to do this, is rename your project. Usually when you open a new project in TinkerCAD, it gives it a weird random name. That could be hard to navigate when you're going to start your 3D print and then you go through your files and you can't find it. So I'll just have mine at Joyland Sign. And then at the upper right hand corner, you'll see it says import, export, and send to. You want to import the files that you just made within Canva into your project. So before you hit import, pay attention to right here where it says dimensions. This is in millimeters. It says 484 by 1347 millimeters. I want to scale this down because I don't want it to be that big. I can always enlarge it if I want to, but I want it to be small. That way I can align them and then scale them later. I'll make that at 5%. So it says 24 by 67, which is way better than what we had before. If you're importing two files, be sure that the scale number is the same number for both, because if you have this one at 5 and you have the other one at 10, one is going to be larger than the other one, and then you're going to have to move your model around, scale up and down manually to try to make them align better. Just keep that in mind. Keep your scale percent the exact same for both files when you go to import them. Here's how mine looks. It's really cute. I usually like to put my quality all the way up. It just makes it look smoother. You can see a subtle change. I'll zoom in to show you. Watch the walls of my design. Right now, the quality is all the way up. If I bring it down, there's a bit more ridges, which I don't really like, so I'm going to bring that all the way up. And I'll change the color to white. Do the same thing for my other one, import. This is what I'm talking about. My scale is at 100%. I'm going to bring it down to 5, the same exact number as the first one. You'll see, you can't really see it because it's overlapped on the first one, but it's perfectly sized and aligned with the original one that we just uploaded. Let's move this out the way. That way, if you had yours like this, it'll look a little weird and you're gonna have to move it up and down trying to get it right. But since we kept the scale number the same, it's perfectly sized to fit each other. Then of course, I'm gonna make the backing pink. Putting my quality all the way up. Like that. Feel free to pause this video or rewind the video if you get stuck anywhere. Do not feel rushed. You are more than welcome to pause the video at any time or ask me a question in the comments. I read all of my comments, so I'll be sure to answer your questions, any questions you may have. Right now it's at 72 millimeters by 32. You can change your units if you'd like them to be in inches. Right here, just click Imperial and you'll have them in inches. So this is only 2 by 1, so 2 inches by 1 inch. I want that to be bigger. Also, this is perfect for if you're trying to make keychains as well. If you want to make a display sign, that's good. If you want to turn this into a small keychain, you can resize it. This is just a general tutorial. I want this to be about 85 millimeters wide. I'll select both of them, hold my shift button down and drag it until it's about 85. That's good. Another note, it's important you resize them at the same time instead of one after the other, because it's kind of the same thing that I just talked about, how if we scale one up and the other one is scaled down, we're gonna have to tweak it manually, and that's kind of a headache. Once you do that, you don't want to do anything else except for mess with the height of both. This one says it's 11 millimeters. This is going to be the base part, so the base that stands upright, and this will just be the detail part, so this doesn't have to be too tall. And I want this to be about 22 millimeters tall. This should be good. After that, I'll grab this tool right here, which is the work plane tool. What this does is you can have it anywhere, hover it anywhere on the surface of whichever shape you have, click on it, and that makes it your new work plane. Now, anything that you drop to work plane, or use this button right here, anything that you click D for, it will drop immediately onto whatever work plane you set it to. I set it to the top of the backing because we're going to want to put this right here. Now select both, hit this button, which is the align setting, or hit L on your keyboard. These little dots will show up. These dots, if you hover over them, they'll give you a preview of how it looks. It's just to help you perfectly align any of your shapes. I want it to be centered, so I'll click the middle button. Now it should be perfectly centered. We're almost done. The only thing left is to adjust the height of our actual name. We don't need it to be 11 millimeters tall. We can have it about 4, 3, 2, whichever you prefer. I want mine's a little thick, so I'll make it about 5 or 6. This looks good. Again, my widest length for the backing is about 85 millimeters. My height is 22, and for up here, it's 5 millimeters. These measurements are for small name displays for desks, and I'll show you how it looks on my desk once I print it. Again, you can scale this down if you'd like to make it into a keychain. Just make sure you resize them at the same time. After you're happy with your measurements and how everything looks, go ahead and group them together by holding down your mouse, dragging them, clicking Union Group, and it should group them together. If you want to print in multicolor, click this button. At the bottom left hand corner, it'll say multicolor. It's usually by default off. Turn that on and your color should come back. After that, you can export it as an OBJ file for multicolor printing or an STL for single color printing. Now you are good to go to open it and then print it onto your printer. I'll be printing it on my Bamboo Lab A1 combo printer. This is how it looks in the Slicer Studio. It only took about an hour to print. I'll also leave all of the filaments and all of the supplies that I'm using in today's video linked in the description, and linked to this video if you want to use these same exact materials. Now when you print it, you'll notice they'll have these little strings on it. You can easily fix that with a heat gun or a small blowtorch. I just used a heat gun that I found. I got this really cute pink one that I like, and I like this because you can change the heat intensity. I just kept it on low and I just kept going over it and checking in on it. That way I don't melt it too much. You'll see a big difference from the before and after once I melted all the strings and they went away. Any little pieces that are still there will easily come out if you use a weeding tool to pick it out and clean it up. Then to finish off the custom name display, I used UV resin and fine glitter for that glittery look. You don't have to use glitter if you don't want to, but if you do, make sure it's extra fine. That way it doesn't look too chunky on top of your nameplate. Gives it that nice glittery finish. I did add a bit too much glitter to my resin, so I added a little more resin to it. Make sure your resin is runny and not like a paste. When you go to pour it and put it on top of your name display, it runs easily through the letters. I recommend adding little by little and using a paintbrush to spread it around. Another trick I use is I put it in water and then I cure it to get rid of the stickiness on the surface. When dealing with resin, it's important you take all the safety precautions that are recommended to protect yourself and your health. This is the final result of our custom 3D printed name display design. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button for more easy, beginner friendly small business tutorials. Until then, I would love to know what you'd like to see next, and I will see you in my next video.